What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a blessed afternoon. As always, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, I love you. I know there's a lot of things going on. A lot of us are going through things, depressive states, all kind of thoughts that are demonic. And sometimes we go to it because we're so used to it that we become numb to it. But God will overcome. Believing, trusting, and following Him and being patient and sometimes being still. That will overcome that, even in the Bible, it also speaks about how Christ was getting ready to die on the cross for us. And He actually had to pray to His Father for angels to soothe Him. So some of us need that angel. If I'm that angel for you, let me know. You can talk to me or inbox me on Facebook, Chris Classic Williams. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel as well. For me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We got our matches, and we are excited for our new show, Press Start 2 in January. Let's wait and see what Ava Raine, The Rock's daughter, is going to be in Schism. I know that a lot of people are upset because they was like, well, why would she be in this? I'm saying, well, why not? We don't know much about her besides her mother and father. You get what I'm saying? So, she might be the missing piece for that group to elevate. I'm not saying that they weren't elevating, but at the same time, a lot of people were comparing Joe Gacy to Bray Wyatt. And that's the thing I want to speak about real quick, sidebar. Usually when you have a white guy that has a group of people that's cult-like or something like that, a lot of them are the same. They're sometimes one-dimensional. I mean, with Bray, I'm comparing them with Bray. With Bray was a little different because eventually he had puppets and stuff like that. Like I said, my favorite, if I had a favorite version of Bray Wyatt, would be the Swamp with the Wyatt family. But he didn't have a woman in his group. I mean, we could sit here and say Sister Abigail or even Alexa, but that wasn't a real group. And let's not talk about Sister Abigail. Y'all remember when it was supposed to be Finn Balor, Demon Finn versus Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt was supposed to be Sister. Anyway, so she might be different. She might do something to elevate. People are talking about this because it is The Rock's daughter. Not only because of his wrestling standpoint, but because he's like one of the most highest paid actors now. You get what I'm saying? This man is like in every movie. So this gets people talking. All I see is headlines of his daughter and stuff like that. And it's pretty dope that she is a fourth generation superstar. I think she's the first in WWE. I wouldn't say ever, but she's the first in WWE. Shout out to her and them for doing that. So let's see. I'm curious. I do like what they're doing and what they're saying about how people basically didn't care for her when she got hurt and stuff like that. I remember her being hurt and things like that, but it's right. We can sit here and be like, okay, well, The Rock is doing Hollywood. We can say a whole bunch of stuff. So we could just see how it all plays out. And it could be good. She could be, the best way I could compare it, she could be the Fergie to the Schism's Black Eyed Peas. And when I say it is, a lot of people was rocking with Black Eyed Peas heavy after Fergie got part of the group. A lot of people don't realize that they were a group before Fergie came in. And what she did for them and what they did together, they all leveled up and grew. So maybe she can do that for the Schism as well. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it won't be long till she be in the bloodline and this and that. Well, let's just see. Let's just wait and see what happens. I don't mind this. She doesn't need to be called up. Y'all already bashing Dom. That's what Hills for Life podcast brought up. Shout out to them and everything they do. Congrats on their 200th episode. But at the same time, y'all got on Dom. Y'all get on basically anybody that's related to anybody in the business. Let's say, like, Charlotte Flair is the, if not greatest wrestler wrestling right now. And people are going to say, well, no, because she's the daughter of Ric Flair. That's why you're saying that. I'm like, no, she's very good. There's a lot of talented women, a lot of great women. And a lot of them you can debate on who is the greatest wrestler, not just in this era, but of all time. But you're just going to say it. So if she just debuted straight up with the bloodline, y'all would have an issue. You know, you have Solo Sikoa not too long ago. He debuted after winning the title North American Championship, but then he had to basically vacate it. It's just like, what was the point of him winning? But going back into it, people are going to say stuff anyway. So why not just do something different? You know, speaking of the bloodline, like literal bloodline, I want you guys to think about it. I mean, remember when The Rock started as Rocky Maivia as a tribute to his father and his grandfather? People, sorry for the brightness, people made fun of him, said, die, Rocky, die, and Rocky need to go somewhere and stuff like that. Then he turned around, he had to make things his own. So now what they given her and what they told her to do, she got to make it her own. So we'll see. It might be interesting. I'm looking forward to her wrestle. Hopefully it'll make Schism a little bit more interesting because, like I said, the cult thing to me is so overdone. And I'm not even just saying that from WWE or AEW perspective. I'm even talking about from like independent. It's like, I think there's ways to make it different, but a lot of people don't, you know, because a lot of people love being an outcast, because a lot of people love being outcast or deemed outcast. So these kind of things kind of work, or sometimes they don't, because then they become generic. You get what I'm saying? But with Ava Raine, we can see where it goes from here. You know, I already know she has to work hard for it and stuff like that, and we'll see. I think the acting, so point, what she's doing, is good so far. I mean, she has a top actor as a father. I'm sure you wouldn't settle for less. You know, I'm glad they didn't just straight call her up to WWE and stuff. Let's just see what they do, you know. I remember when Nia Jax started wrestling before she was even in NXT. When people found out who she was related to, they gave her a hard time. And then she, you know, some people got hurt and injured and stuff, and then they still gave her a hard time. Not saying all of them was her fault. I know she definitely needed to be more careful, but yeah, so it's going to always be something. So it doesn't even matter if she's starting in NXT like her cousin Nia Jax. People are just going to say, oh, well, you just here because of that. Or we're going to say they're not that great because they're related to such and such, and that's why they're elevating. Not everybody is saying that, too. I don't want to come off as mean, but that's just what I'm saying. You know, a lot of people are expecting she have, like, her own debut just by herself and stuff like that. And then when the mask came off, everybody started talking. Oh, snap, she's part of Schism. So she might be something that will elevate. Now people are looking at NXT because it's like she's got to wrestle eventually. She has to wrestle eventually. So we'll see where it goes from here. I'm not upset that she's part of a group. It could lead to greatness. I can't wait to see her wrestle, you know, regardless of how people feel about The Rock and his bloodline and his heritage. The guy can wrestle. The guy can put on a promo. So we'll see if those genes, pause, went to his daughter and see where it goes from here. So that's all I wanted to talk about. You know, people are going to be upset. Some people are happy. Some people are curious. I'm curious to see where it goes from here. You know, just because you are the fourth generation or let alone the first generation of something doesn't mean that you're very good at wrestling. But I think that she's in good hands. This is Chris Classic. I hope you guys are having a wonderful and blessed day, and let's take it home.